Hey guys, what is up? Donato here, back from our video. Today I'm just going to be doing a review of Gears of War 4 on the Xbox One. Now, if you guys don't know what Gears of War series is, or you've never experienced the Gears of War franchise before, this is the fifth title in the game series, and this is set up the events of 3. 3 is my favorite, by the way. So let's just jump straight into this review, and hope you enjoy. So the story of Gears of War 4 follows JD Phoenix, the son of everyone's favourite gritty-voiced, fridge-worn hero from the previous games, Marcus Phoenix, as him and his friends Del and Kat try to find out what attacked their village and why they captured Reyna, the village leader and Kat's mother. So they set out on their journey to find Reyna and try to figure out who or what this new enemy is, what they want with Reyna, and their connection to the Locusts. And as the game progresses, they obviously find out more about these creatures as well. So that's pretty much the story in a nutshell. Gears of War 4 gameplay has not changed. It plays exactly the same as all the other Gears of War games, with a few minor tweaks added, such as dynamic cover in the form of pods, which you or your opponent can take cover behind. These can be shot and destroyed, giving you or your opponent a tactical advantage of battle when they are left without cover. A vault kick, which the player can use when they vault over cover, and this can stun the enemies if they are standing next to cover when you do this, leaving them open to melee attacks or executions. A new melee knife, which can be used for close quarter combat and bring new executions as well, and the ability to reach over cover from behind cover and pull the enemy to your side and knife them in the chest. I've had this happen to me a few times. I actually didn't realize this was a new feature until one of the enemies did it to me, and I was like, what the hell? I've never seen that before. But it is pretty cool, so it is. And also, finally, wind flares. Wind flares are a new element of the game. They can affect projectiles, causing them to either go off target or actually blow back at you. And this can also throw the enemies and you off balance if you just decide to stand in it, causing you to actually stagger. And not just that, but if you actually get killed or the enemy gets killed, this can actually blow them away into the storm. This also happens to environments that can be broken up or cover that can be destroyed as well. It's really, really cool, but I don't recommend you actually throw grenades in the winds to add wind. Um, Wind flares, it's not going to end well, so it's not specifically come back at you. So next I want to talk about the visuals. The graphics in this game are absolutely beautiful. Not just the environments, but the actual character models are really, really amazing as well. Um, Everything's very, very detailed. It's really, really bright, which is also what I'm going to pick out in a second. The enemies look alright. They don't have really anything distinctive about them, but everything does look very, very good for the most part. Um, so let's get on to what I was saying there about the graphics being too bright. I think they just said, fuck it. We'll try to make this game look as best as we can. We'll take out all the nitty gritty stuff so we can make it more look more cinematic when we actually do something cinematic, and I think that's a bad thing. I think Gears of War suited the nitty gritty shooter type graphics. Gears of War One, obviously, because the graphics restraints from when it came out, it was supposed to look like that. It had to look like that, and it kind of give you the feel that you were in a war with everything falling down around you, society and everything's falling down around you. It's supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be gritty. It's supposed to be um, everything's supposed to be brown and just really, really crappy looking. I think they brightened this one up a bit, maybe because you weren't in war anymore. It was supposed to be time after war, so it's like, everything's back to normal. We'll change things up a bit, but in my opinion, I still think, even with the wind flares do kick up the dust and it makes it look really dark and gritty again. But at the same time, it's like there's some untouched places where you would think, okay, the wind flare's going to kick up, it's going to kick storm out, it's going to leave all these trees and ruin and stuff like that. But no, it's just like once it passes, it's like all bright and beautiful again. Just like what the fuck? It's sort of a nitpicky thing about it. It just really annoys me. I think they should have stuck to the original formula of the graphics. I think they shouldn't have changed anything. As I said, Gears of War I think suited the graphics better like that, but that's just my opinion. So let's talk about the main characters now. So I'm not going to talk about Marcus. He's more of a side character in this one, and he takes a back seat in this one. I'm going to focus mostly on JD, Cat, and Dell. So for the most part, they are likable and they do have some really good moments together, but for the most part, they kind of feel generic. They kind of feel boring and just have no real personalities to them. They're not like Bard or Coltrane or even Marcus himself. They kind of downgraded the characters in this game. Um, there's no real good interactions between them. Maybe a few jokes between them. Maybe during the missions, but aside from that, there's no real interaction with them. Um, when the characters do get development, it mostly goes to JD or Kat. Kat is very close to her mother. It shows you that throughout the game. It's explains that throughout the game. And JD, he's very estranged from Marcus. Marcus and him haven't talked for years, and Marcus didn't really want anything to do with him. And it sort of mends the bond in this as they're going through it. But one character who actually does get left out is Dell. Dell doesn't get no backstory. He gets no character development. He doesn't get really anything explained about him except the fact that he's JD's childhood friend. Which is a shame because I think they could have did a lot more with him, and they could have at least thrown something in for him or explained a little bit more about him. But because of this, he's so he sort of feels like a third wheel. I'm a bit stuttering. I don't know why I was stuttering. He just feels like a third wheel in this game. He doesn't feel like he should really be there. Maybe it should just be the three of them, Marcus, Jay, and Kat. But um, yeah, I just didn't feel he got enough character development, or he didn't really get enough time on screen either. He was mostly in the background, or when he was in front of the camera, it was in cutscenes where he was making jokes or he was complaining about something during the mission. There's a lot more dialogue actually during the missions when that was in the previous games, which is good, but at the same time, there's not much going on for Dell, so um, why even put him in when you're not going to give him any development? But yeah. So let's talk about the multiplayer now. The multiplayer in Gears of War 4, like every other Gears of War, is just as addictive. It's just as addictive as always. It's always really fun to play horde mode with friends or online. If you're not into horde mode, you can also do versus or you can do co-op campaign with friends as well. But there's definitely a lot for you to do when you finish the story mode if you want to actually do the story mode. I know a lot of people don't do story modes nowadays, but yeah, there's plenty for you to do. There's plenty of time to be spent doing whatever you want to do in all these different modes. Personally, horde mode's my favorite. Who doesn't love playing horde mode with friends? It's really fun. It's really challenging as well. Also, they did take out beast mode from Gears of War 3, which is sad 'cause I like that. I quite fond of that. But they did add in a few new modes, I believe. I believe Guardian, Dodgeball, and Warfare are new, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But anyways, yeah, multiplayer is really really fun in Gears of War 4. It's definitely something to experience when you're finished the game, or if you just want to do it before the game, go ahead. But I would probably recommend you play it with friends, especially horde mode, as it's a lot better with friends rather than playing online with randomers or just by yourself. So here's my final thoughts on Gears of War 4, guys. Is the game good? Not really. To me, it just seems like a quick cash in with the Gears of War name slapped on it. Story's subpar. It's not really that interesting. The characters are not well developed enough, especially Dell, who just pretty much gets nothing told about him. They leave a lot of plot points out. They don't talk about a lot of stuff, and they leave a lot of questions up in the air. and especially because of the ending as well. The ending's absolutely fucking dreadful. The bosses were dreadful as well, by the way. Um, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but I'm just saying. But because of the ending, they obviously are going to sequel bait it, which pisses me off because Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 were absolutely fantastic. Right up to the end, they were fantastic. Even though we knew there was going to be a sequel to them, they still made the ending absolutely fantastic. And this one just seems to be like, oh, it's going to end like this. Fuck it, we'll rush it out, and we'll do a second one. Explain the rest of it later on. That just really fucking pissed me off. Multiplayer is addictive as always, but they added a few new stuff I'm not really fond of. Um, it's probably more for the competitive esports side of things. This is not an esports game for some fucking reason. Um, they've added like bounties, class skills, actual classes to the game. So while they did that, I have no idea, but it makes it feel more like a Call of Duty game or a Battlefield game more than it actually does a Gears of War game. Um, but I think the game can be still enjoyed. The multiplayer is still quite good, and I still love playing Horde mode in it. Would I recommend this for people who haven't played Gears of War before? It depends. If you just want to play it for its multiplayer, I would say by all means go ahead and knock yourself out. But if you actually want to play this for the actual story, I would say go back and play the first three first in Judgment. Um, there are far, far better stories. This one, as I said, just seems to be a kind of cash in with a obvious sequel coming out. But I think that's about just about everything I can say about this game, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed to us, make sure you do that for us. And if you have, keep around for more content. Um, keep on gaming, guys. This is Devil0020's signing out. Thanks for watching.